Discover the astonishing secrets of a renegade outsider who scares the hell out of Wall Street. He's made over $6,550,120 using one little secret that the world's richest traders never wanted you to know. Now everybody wants to learn his secrets. Thankfully for you, he's decided to stick it to him. Now you get a laugh all the way to the bank. Keep listening to find out how. Hey! You're about to learn how to effortlessly create multiple new money-pumping revenue streams with binary options. Unlike other sites run by those so-called gurus, I'm going to give you something you can actually use. No more outdated, overused, and useless tips, tricks, and techniques. No more of those jacked-up insider secrets that never worked in the first place. This is totally different. But before I show you how to tap into your own old faithful geyser of binary options riches, it's important for you to know I'm not here to just talk about making money. I'm going to show you how to mint it yourself. Look, what I'm about to reveal is not fully automated. It does not work at the click of a button. And it does not make you money while you're sleeping. The reality is, nothing can do that. And if you're like most people looking for a way to make money online, you already know this all too well. So if you're hoping for some kind of magical fairy dust you can sprinkle on your computer and wait for it to sprout your money, you're flat out of luck. But if you're serious about cashing in with binary options, and you have a couple extra minutes a day to invest in your success, and you can follow a few ridiculously simple instructions, then you're in for a real cash-blasting treat. The fact is, you know 99.9% of all binary trading products out there today are 100% worthless. Oh sure, they'll tell you that their old, dried-up programs are pure trading gold. But when you get down to it, it's all stinky hot air. They're just out to make a quick buck on poor suckers who don't know any better. You've been around the block, so I'm sure I'm not telling you anything new. But that was before. This is now. Today, everything is going to change. Today, you're going to have an opportunity to get in the ground floor of something that will totally transform your financial future. And get this. It's going to let you stick it to those so-called experts and inside traders once and for all. So feel free to thank some of your lucky stars, because you're about to see how easy it can be to finally quit that day job for real and hotwire the entire binary options market with a few quick clicks. Can you even imagine how fantastic your life is about to get? What if I told you there was a way to force the binary options market to flood your bank account with an unstoppable tidal wave of guaranteed revenue? A little-known way that doesn't require you have a shred of know-how and zero previous experience. A virtually risk-free way that you can use to build your own fortune, even if you only have a few dollars to get started with. I'm talking about a secret backdoor, but 100% ethical and legal way to turn that spare change under your sofa cushions into cold, hard cash. How much? How about $2,354? Or $10,525? Or even $35,454 every single day? And all you need is the ability to follow the easiest instructions ever and a computer. Sounds pretty crazy and far-fetched, eh? But I give you my solemn word, by good fortune, a bit of luck, and some hard work, I discovered the holy grail of binary options trading. Hey, my name is David Banks, and I'm one of the most successful binary options traders you've never heard of. And guess what? Even though I earn more money in a week than most high-profile traders make in a year, I don't have any interest in becoming one of those gurus. But I didn't used to have it this good. See, I got my degree in computer science, but up until recently, I was an overworked and underpaid intern on Wall Street. I was a pretty talented programmer, but I had a dream of being a big-time trader. I was more like a secretary, janitor, gopher, but I figured one day I'd move up the ranks. I didn't figure on the crash. And I didn't count on getting laid off either. And while the rest of us were watching our finances hit the fan, all of my former bosses, those big shot investment bankers, hedge fund kids, and high powered traders you heard about on the news, were still making tons of money every day. It was the worst economic crisis in 100 years, a total financial crap storm, but these guys were cashing in, mostly trading binary options. So, I did what anyone would do who had been on the inside like I was. I copied everything I had seen these traders doing. I'd been taking notes, so I was ready to have my own payday. Heck, Wall Street was moving around 3.5 trillion every day. So I figured, if I just did what they do, I would make money too, right? Wrong. I should have known that a guy like me, who didn't have much money to invest, was nothing to the market. I nearly lost everything trying to figure out how to trade binary options. And I spent the rest of what I had on every get-rich-quick binary option gimmick on the web. I'd been at the very heart of the financial world, and now here I was up late at night in my PJs, buying ebooks, webinar series, and every magic bullet binary option gadget and gizmo I could find to make money. Looking back, I can't believe I fell for all that hype and nonsense. But at the time, I was desperate, and I needed money fast. However, I never would have guessed that I'd bump into my financial savior at Starbucks. It was a cold and rainy day. I was camped out at Starbucks. I'd bought one of their 4-hour coffees. Where you buy a cup of their cheapest generic coffee and piggyback on their internet for as long as you can before they give you the stink eye. I was looking at job listings on Monster and CareerBuilder.com. I figured I'd put my college degree to work. But there was absolutely no programming jobs out there. So, unless I wanted to be a pizza delivery driver, seriously, there was just nothing I could do. And I didn't own a car, so that wasn't even an option. That's when it happened. The barista wasn't looking, so I'd gotten up to refill my coffee from that little pump thermos thing. I guess I wasn't really paying attention. As I turned around, I bumped into an older man who was standing right behind me. I guess bumped is putting it nicely. I actually spilled my entire cup of coffee all over his white shirt. But instead of yelling at me, this guy laughed. Instead of getting pissed off, he asked me if I was okay. This kind of behavior is not normal in NYC. I expected he was going to take a swing at me, or at least curse me up and down. Nope. He simply picked up a couple napkins and daubed off the excess coffee. Then he turned to me and said, "Son, I think we need to talk." And this is exactly where a lousy, no-good rainy day turned into the most important day of my life. See, this gentleman, who has asked I don't use his real name, so let's call him the man, said he'd seen me scanning the classifieds, and he wondered if I might be interested in earning a few bucks. He said some of his help was on vacation, and he needed somebody to run some errands and do a few simple chores for him over the next few days. After he told me what he was paying, which was even more than I made as a gopher on Wall Street, I was all in. I wasn't going to turn down the easy money. The next thing I knew, I was in his penthouse apartment, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. The man gave me his address and told me to meet him there later that day. When the doorman put me in the private elevator to the top floor, I had a feeling things were about to get a bit crazy. So, when the man's personal butler opened the door and invited me in, I almost lost it. This guy's mansion in the sky was insane. I've never seen anything like it. The amount of money that this place oozed out of every nook and gold-plated cranny was mind-boggling. I was trying to keep from drooling when the man entered the room. He had a list of things he needed me to do in the city and a few chores around the house. I got right to work. I was shredding some old documents when I couldn't keep my big mouth shut anymore. I know it probably wasn't the proper thing to do, but I had to know how this dude made his money. So against my better judgment, I just asked him. He chuckled and looked me right in the eye. Then, without any ego at all, he said, "I made my millions on Wall Street, but I made my tens of millions trading binary options." I couldn't believe it. What are the odds? I'd spent the last 6 months draining my bank account to near zero, trying to make even a few bucks doing it. And now, here I'd accidentally bumped into somebody who'd made millions trading binary options. I was sure it was none of my business. But I had to know how he made so much money trading binary options. So again, I just blurted it out. I told the man how I'd gotten my degree in computer science, but how I wanted to make it on Wall Street until I was canned, and then how I'd tried to make money trading binary options using all the get-rich-quick schemes out there. I was brutally honest about how badly I'd failed, too. I know I didn't have any business asking, but I wanted to know what the secret to his success was. To this day, I don't know what caused him to do it, but without saying a word, the man led me down a hallway where he unlocked a gigantic door. Before I saw what was inside, I heard the humming. The room was filled with computers. Everywhere I looked, from floor to ceiling, there were stacks of computers. "You want to know my secret?" he said. "It's all right here. And in the 4 other offices that each have at least 4 times as many computers as you see here, and no less than 25 seasoned traders manning the screens at all hours of the day and night. In other words, if you want to do it like one of the big boys of binary options, you'll need to have real firepower." Now, I understood why I could never hope to duplicate what my old bosses were doing. They still had access to their banks of server farms, to their high-powered trading floors, to the trillions of dollars around the world. All I had was a crappy old compact computer with a pair of busted speakers, a few lousy bucks, and a big reality check. Now that I knew the real truth, how could I ever hope to make it? I think the man could tell I was feeling defeated. That's when he did something I never would have expected. The man told me he liked my spirit. I think he used the word chutzpah. He told me he hoped that what he'd just showed me wouldn't stop me from trading. He wanted me to see that if I wanted to succeed, I could not do it like the big boys. That was about 1.5 years ago. Since that time, I went from barely being able to pay my rent and put food on the table, literally, and having to take jobs from complete strangers who I spilled coffee on, to living a life I couldn't have ever imagined in my wildest dreams. See, I told you that everything was going to change. And it did. I have the man to thank for everything. By sharing one silly little trading secret with me, almost too tiny to call a strategy, the man unlocked a world of wealth for me. It required almost no money to start, which was good since I didn't have any. And it proved how worthless all those other programs were. If you'd gotten your hands on this secret when I did, imagine being able to pay off that student loan or save for your kid's college. Walk into your local Range Rover dealer and putting down cash to pay for the latest model. Having plenty of money to totally renovate your house, or better yet, upgrade your zip code with a multi-million-dollar mansion. This and much more would have all been possible. Am I telling you all of this to put it in your face? Nope, I'm telling you because I'm so excited for you. Why? Because you're about to have one of those life-changing moments that you'll never forget. And you don't even have to spill any coffee on anybody to make it happen. I'm talking about never having to live paycheck to paycheck again. Never having to tread water just to make it through another month. Putting an end to the stress, the frustration, and all the crap that comes along with just getting by. Because that's all about to end for you. Discover how T-Binary Signals can change your life. All you have to do to get started is enter your details and click the button below. It's quick and easy and 100% guaranteed.